Okay, so apparently the head of a... yeah, fortunately I don't think I'll be anywhere near any villages in this dimension. Otherwise I'd be awful concerned. But this is where a bunch of lost traders have been showing up too. Alright. So I'm going to go looking for a... well... for a dark tower, but one that isn't on this map. I tried raiding this thing in an unfilmed segment. You know what? Now'd be a good time to do this. Because while it is slow, it's faster than walking speed under this armor. The terrain isn't that bad, though. The only drawback is that it does use energy. But let me see if I can find a dark tower. Well, here we are. Dark Forest. And this time it's showing up on the map because I'm in its range. Alright, yeah, I just wanted to check that I didn't have the... I hadn't gone blind there. Although, since I did defeat the Night Phantom, I should be able to... see in here. Incidentally, no, I don't know what that weird square is on my heads-up display there. Maybe I can go and look at it? So as you may or may not remember, the Dark Forest starts getting a little charred the closer you get... Oh, wait a minute. There we are. Yeah, and while my suit is fully charged, I don't exactly take damage, or at least I don't take much damage, but it does drain the charge, and if I'm not charged up, then... And keep in mind that that to charge up one piece of equipment takes nearly the entire capacity of that one energy cube I have, the nitro energy cube. Okay. Engage creative flight again. There we are. Now, since the Dark Tower is indeed dark, I'm going to whip up some torches for it, as well as clearing out more space in my inventory. Yeah, I know I really ought to not use charcoal, but actually you can get charcoal from burning wood, so whatever. And before you ask, yes, I did set my multi-tool on its highest attack setting. I can one-shot certain monsters, albeit certain low-grade monsters. But then again, I'm not entirely sure what I'll come up with here. I've got ironwood, but I don't really need this stuff. Put this in here. Put my old uniform away too. I might need it if things really go up the deep end, off the deep end with this. With the mega suit, I mean. Oh, brother. Alright. Backpedal, backpedal. Need my gun. Where's my gun? Ow. Okay, yeah, I know that was kind of off. I suppose what I ought to have done was approached it, especially since it was just spawning spiders. There are certain spawners here that don't spawn spiders, they spawn those things. I don't know whether you can see that thing floating around up at the top, but that is not the kind of gas you're accustomed to. We'll run into it in just a bit. If I can find this spawner and take it out. Okay, I don't know what that was, but it looked like a Forsaken Knight, so I can't take any risks here. Not anymore. No, wait, that wasn't a Forsaken Knight at all. That was a Carmenite Golem. Now those things have been souped up to no end. Is that a Carmenite Golem spawner too? This is the last thing I want to run into. Nope, it's a Carmenite Ghastling. Those things just float around until they spot you. Then they attack. Let me just get at this here. No, ordinary ghasts, they just drift around a bit. But the Carmenite variety, they don't seem to drift the way the ordinary ghasts drift. Don't want it to see me. Want it to see me. Really don't want it to see me. Instead of... Oh, come on. Oh, that's the... There we are. Why is the ladder on the other side of... Yeah, you can't exactly get to this the traditional way, can you? Well, there are certain things in this tower that you can't really, I don't know, do in the way they're meant to be done. And that, I suppose, was one of them, but at the same time, I don't know, there's following the rules and then there's running into a lot of squiddings. Well, on the one hand, don't mind if I do. On the other hand, where did this come from again? Sorry, stream of consciousness, that kind of thing. Put the map away as well. I'd rather not waste all this. Oh, P.S. We're at a height of 50. Now, ground level for the Twilight Forest is 32. It was originally made that way because the ground level for the game itself was lower. They wanted to make room. You could always use arrows. Maybe I'll take some of these fireflies along too, in case I run out of torches. Okay, so now we're at a sort of intersection in the tower, and by intersection, I can't go here. I need keys, and the keys are supposed to be found in these other branches. Ooh, but sometimes nasty things happen to this tower. Once upon a time. Really nasty things. They've blown up bits of the tower, taken them out. So in order to reach them, I guess I'm going to have to stack some blocks and improvise my way up. One of these things. Problem is, when you're in a mecha suit, you don't get hit. Oh, P.S. This tower is made of wood, and because of that, I'd rather not fight the gateways to Eternity gateway that opens up like the sometimes when you take out a spawner. Ah. Yeah, they tend to go the extra mile with the light switches here. Ooh, hello, what's this? Another branching pathway, and up here is nothing but ghasts. Fortunately, I duck out of the way in time. A ghast can cancel its attack if its intended victim disappears from its sight. Ah, and that's one of the keys. I need one of those keys. I need all those keys. I might just grab some of this Experiment 115 stuff too. You know why? Because it's fascinating. It's an experiment, but it's cake. I mean, you can actually eat the stuff. And it doesn't really do anything to you. There's no debuff associated with it, so why is it? And this is the top of this tower. Or at least this bit of tower. This tower is just one big tower with a bunch of really tiny ones. With a bunch of tiny ones branching off it, and a bunch of really tiny ones branching off that. It's a lot like the Lich Tower, but much scarier, in my opinion, and for several reasons. Okay, end of tower. Yeah, of course I wasn't going to be in there. But as long as I'm here, I'll grab some loot. I may need that wool as a building material. I know it sounds weird, but could still happen. Oh yeah, and just because this is in the Twilight Forest doesn't mean ordinary monsters can't spawn. Another game of chutes and ladders. Except the chutes are actual... There's actual gunfire. Maybe I should call it shots and ladders. I guess this is the top of this tower. Ah, and we have another key. Thank you. You know what? I'm not going to discard the spider eye. I might need it later. I'm kind of low on them. Speaking of stuff I want to conserve, I could just hop down there and absorb the damage, but no. Call me a pinch penny if you'd like, but... Now I can very faintly hear a ghast. Or should I say ghastling? There are no actual ghasts around here, they're just Twilight Forest versions of ghasts. Here we are. Next key, right here. I'm finding these awful quick, aren't I? No. I'll bet the last key is like this one that I really, really can't find, and I end up looking for it for ages on end, and then it's like the last part of the last tower. Well, whatever. I can officially close this part out now. Go back down here. So that was 3 out of 4 keys. I'll have to search these. Although I guess if I find the last one in this particular tower, I'm still going to see what's in the third tower, sub-tower. What exactly would I call this? Oh. Freaking pinch beetles. There we go. Now, if that pinch beetle was carrying a... Oh, hold on a second. This is a little bit of... Wait. Oh, there's a creeper there, too. I do not want to be at ground... I do not want to be at ground zero when it goes off. Okay, anyway, as I was saying, I can't open this chest. Why? Because I haven't done this yet. Pulled the block over the chest, away from it, using this lever. Now that I've done that, I can help myself to its contents. Speaking of helping myself to stuff, I've got this pickaxe here, this ender bow. I forget exactly what it does. It's a special Twilight Forest thing. I think it's like the homing device, but sorry, it's like this these bullets. Oh my goodness, I got to change the bullets out. All right. There we go. Much better. And now I'll reload this. In the heat of battle, I might want to... I don't want to think about having to reload. So I'll reload without having to think about it. Another one of these things. Let's see. So this door, it just leads out on a ledge. We're up at the top of another tower. So I'm going to go back down and grab the loot before I forget. I mean, yeah, it's not like the last key is going to be here, but look at how much stuff there is here. Okay, let's go here. Yeah, these little blocks open and close again when they're given a redstone signal like that. They're a bit like trapdoors. If you wait long enough, they close back up. I can right-click on this, light it up. The last thing I want right now is to fall down. Although, there wasn't a whole lot to this tower except those traps. And there it is, the last key. But I would like to loot this place a little. Gotta make room first. Okay, and back down and around. Hope this doesn't give you motion sickness here. So let's see what's over here. Oh boy. And there's a ghastling. Or no, it's not an actual ghastling, it's a... I think they call them ghast guards. Let's see. Okay, apparently I can't exactly shoot it, can I? Let me just patch this thing back up. I don't want to fall all the way down. I'm at height 71 right now. So I got a ghast guard out there. I need to keep out of its sight. So I can get up here. And back into its sight, apparently. Okay. Fortunately, this is not a very tall part of sub-tower, sub-tower. How far am I from the main tower? I keep forgetting. Okay, let's go back down. And how about over here? There aren't going to be any keys. There won't be anything other than... Well, fortunately that wasn't a Forsaken Night. There we go. Ah, and there's a spawner. Oh, alright. I'm gonna get out of here, or it's too much of a fire hazard to fight the spawner gateway. Let me just put the looting sword back too. It's not like I need to loot anyone. Alright, let's get back to scratch here and put out this fire before it spreads. Okay, there's loot. And there's another branching path over there. Here we are. So there's another ledge, as you can see. I'll go here first. It's kind of blocked by the stowaway. Never seen that before. It's a burning tower right in front of me. You can see how far away the ground is. And this looks like it's at the top of the tower, so let's go back down. And over here, oh, we got more. Oh, yeah, I saw that creeper stand there. And there's another of these rooms. Well, I use the term room kind of loosely. It's more like a giant space with nothing in it. Get out of sight of this gas guard. I'm just gonna have to pillar jump my way up here. I mean, it's dirt. It's not exactly the rarest. It's not exactly the hardest thing to dig down, to take apart after you put it together. I think I got enough of these redstone lamps. There was this other dungeon raid I did, where the loot, or a lot of the loot was redstone lamps. Then I'll just take this thing down until I'm back where I started. And close out this tower too. Oh. This must have been from the gas blast. Fortunately, this ash thing, I think it helps control fires. That way the entire tower won't burn down. But now I've got the 4 tower keys. I can plug them in. And proceed on to the next segment. But before I do that, it seems there's another segment here. Now let me see where... Ooh, there's a spawner. I have no idea what was spawned on it, but... Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.